Cool. All right, we're going live. Yo, what is up? This is DPS Podcast episode number 28. We are here. Thank you for your patience. I know we've been running a little late. Couldn't be helped. I had some family stuff, and also I had to recover from the bug snacks live stream. I needed some fluids. I had to get some Pedialyte, some some sort of electrolyte, something to take care of my ailing body, because it's that game. I gotta do this again tomorrow, hour and a half. Shout out to y'all who decided to oh man, it's crazy. Wait a minute, I don't think they can hear you. Hey, Forte, say something. I wonder if no, I think what's going on is no, it's just myself. They can hear me.
Oh, you don't have your desktop
There
audio.
we go. Yeah, I had to make some a quick change. It's all good. Okay, I think they should be able to hear you now. Chat, let me know if we're all good to go with the audio.
Yeah.
Racer says this man drinks vodka and with Pedialyte.
Mm-hmm.
Hey,
after that stream, that man had
don't
to do something.
knock that. I have done that before, and it's not that bad. Okay, so don't knock it.
All things should be done in moderation, SloMo.
All right, well, let's get into introducing the panel here. Of course, I want to get in introducing my co-host, Gaming Forte. How's it going, man?
Look, man, it's been great. Today has been a great day. The fact that, your boy had to work today, he got a chance to see one of his closest friends in the world that's going to get him a jacket for Sony one day. Outside of that, outside of that, we got a chance for SloMo to pay his dues. And that was a great moment too. And not only did we get 2 hours out of him, we got 3.5 with an hour and a half left to go. That's what I'm talking about, SloMo. It was a great time. I truly appreciate you. You made today more bearable than it probably would have been without you.
I'm glad someone enjoyed it, because
I did. Those bug snacks enjoyed it too.
At 3.5 hours, and I got an
3.5
hour and a half
hours
to go.
Greatness.
You know what? I'm glad if you guys enjoyed the show, the live stream earlier. Good. I'm glad you guys got some entertainment, and come join the one tomorrow where I try to finish this up. And no, there will not be any extending it. There will be no, hey, if I do the super chat, will you do another hour? No.
Wait a minute. I have
Absolutely
a question.
not. I'm done. I'm done.
I have a question. Did you hide your live stream?
No.
Oh, it's just not showing up on your thing?
Yeah, that's weird. I've seen that with other channels before.
It's still processing?
Yeah, well, there should be still processing, but I've seen that with channels before where their a live stream that ended not too long ago won't show up for some reason. So I don't know what that's about. It's weird.
I need that live stream to show up, man.
Yeah, sure.
I need to go back and relive. I need to go relive some of those epic squirting ketchup on the ground and watching bugs smack into each other.
All right, well, let's introduce our special guest here. We got Chrono out in the house. We got an employee of the Sony PlayStation brand. How's it going, man?
I am doing fantastic. I didn't get a chance to watch the live stream, but the fact that it happened, the fact that I was there at the beginning when you swore up and down, you swore, you said you threatened the Lord to strike you down, you will never play this game, and lo and behold, the earth opened up, you got swallowed in, and you fell into bug snacks. So
I gotta tell you, I gotta stop doubting people. Okay, so look,
yeah, you do.
The beginning of the stream, I can't remember what it was, but I can't have. But it was Forte that said it, or someone in the chat. But they was like, if you get like 100 likes, are you gonna do an extra hour?
Now,
And
that
I
was
said,
me.
I was like,
I promote all this.
I said, I'm not getting 100 likes. What? All right, sure, whatever, sure, yeah, whatever. I'm just thinking like it's not gonna happen. So all right, well, we don't bet. Forte decides to go on Twitter. This guy barely goes on Twitter as it is. People send him DMs and messages. He don't respond for like 3 or 4 days. Now he wants to be all active on Twitter. I see people coming in. My notifications is blowing up. I'm like, this is gonna happen. So they get over 100 likes. So I'm like, all right, I'm doing another hour. Bet. So
you see, that's the biggest problem is you gave him something to motivate him. And,
yeah. Clearly,
Someone should already know when he motivates me to do something, it's gonna happen.
Right. So then I'm in my third hour, right, and I'm closing in. I think it's like 15 minutes left, and I'm like,
it was 10 minutes left.
It's 10 minutes. Oh, was it 10?
Yeah, you only had like 8 minutes left when it happened. But go ahead.
So then, like, I think someone in the chat was like, I can't remember.
I said SloMo. Everybody wants you to keep going. You was like, no, man, ain't no way I'm gonna keep going. I said, so SloMo, what would it take for you to go an extra hour or two? And you was like, nothing. I said, SloMo, there's got to be something. You was like, somebody donate $100. I was like, so if somebody donate. I said, if somebody donate.
Look, this is me. Hold on. This is me trying to like, okay, get him to leave me alone and shut up, right? Mm-hmm. Let me say something else. Cause like, all right, the 100 likes was all right. I should have said 200 likes, because like they probably wouldn't have got enough time to get that done in 8 minutes. I said something. We went
from 82 to 100 in 8 minutes.
but I was just like, you know what, $100 super chat. No one's doing that. Yeah, let me go ahead and say that and see, like, and let me just get back to finishing this last 8 minutes out.
And then someone up and went and did it.
Shout out to Driving Arrow. Driving Arrow is I respect, man. A lot of respect for this man, because he was just like, oh. Did he say no one's like, I guess Driving Arrow is one of those people where it's like you dare them to do something and they just go, okay. And there he $100. When I saw it pop up, if you look at that part of the stream, I was just like, there was just silence, because I was just staring at my screen like
someone donate you $100 more.
I gotta do this for longer. Bruno, I'm gonna tell you, what kept me going was the image of myself uninstalling that game, like just looking at the screen and just going delete. That was the image that was keeping me going.
And with a carrot to dangle in front of yourself.
And it just faded to black as soon as I saw that super chat. I was like, all right, so look, I seriously could not keep going that much longer, because I had to eat dinner. I literally didn't eat anything up to that point until lunch. I had to do so many different things, and it's like, okay, well, super chat, Lady Foxfire. Hey, shout out to Lady Foxfire. I did not see you in the chat. I apologize. How's it going? $5 super chat. What's up, SloMo? By the way, I didn't share your channel on my Twitter for that weird game stream. I respect your opinion. Oh, look, you could have. It's all good. It's all good. It's all in fun. It's all in jest. But
that's all right, Lady Foxfire. We got there. We got there anyway. We got there anyway.
I appreciate you trying to protect my sanity, even though it didn't work, and people just want to see me go crazy. But no, what I ended up saying was I will finish, because I said I think it was like two hours or something. So I said, all right, look, I'm gonna do half an hour, in this stream, and then I'll do an hour and a half tomorrow. And so that's I gotta do another 90 minutes of that game.
The funny thing is somebody gonna do something outrageous tomorrow and it's gonna make it go
No,
longer.
there is no going longer. I'm done.
Man,
I am done. I'm saying, no. I'm telling you right now. If you send the super chat expecting me to play the game any longer than that 90 minutes, I'm taking your money. You're not getting more time. Okay, I'm gonna say thank you
so there's no
for the donation.
There's no number, SloMo.
No, I'm done. I'm done. There's no
number.
There's no number. There's not a number to give me.
Learning not to say a damn thing about
I'm not. Yeah, I have been. You fooled me once. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. I am not doing any further. We not playing this game any further. I'm done. There's 90 minutes and that's it. And then I'm playing Outriders.
I should literally be his business partner on all this. I get this. Just like he motivates me, I get this man motivated. This
Racist said, no, Replica says, SloMo, you need closure. No, SloMo closing the chat. Yes, I am. The business is over. Close it. It's shut down. Man.
Bro, it's stimmy season. You should have knew the hundreds was gonna come from somewhere.
That is true. I completely forgot. You're right. It is stimmy season and tax season at the same time. That's like I should have known better.
Oh man! Shout out to Basic Radio Arcade Podcast with the $2 holla. SloMo for the platinum. Let's go. We also got Randall Thor 19, the man with the $1 million. Shout out to you, bro. It's $5 super chat. More bucks next, please, SloMo. And then we got another super chat from Artemis, or Arodimus, I should say. We just gonna call you Artemis over here because it's just funny. But Arodimus with the $5 holla. Now we know SloMo will play games for super chats. DPS will now be known as the dollar per simp. Let's go, SloMo. SloMo, I'm trying to tell you, dog. Listen,
real quick, shout out. We got G-Tay subscribed to the channel. Gaming with Persona. What's up, Persona man? How's it going? He subscribed to the channel. Y'all, look, Enrique, Rand, Erodimus, I need y'all to understand.
Let's go.
I am not playing. Look, you get 90 more minutes, okay? 90 more minutes.
It's going to be some type of compromise and make it up to a 2.5 hour stream. Let's go.
And we look, man, I'm telling you.
Something's going to happen, man. You going to feel obligated and you going to feel bad. You gonna make it happen, man. People, look, you got to get them what they want. Like Cat Dave just said, it's stimmy season.
Yeah, you're about to make me take my PS5 and throw it up against the wall. Like it's gonna be. I can't. Oh my god, yo. No, listen, man, it was a great. I'm already going to have nightmares. So
it was a great stream. I think the reason, look, it's not even that it's Bugsnax. Really, I think Bugsnax is just the highlight of the stream because everybody know how much you just didn't want to play that game. So that has a lot to do with it. But I think for the most part, people just enjoy your reactions to playing games and stuff. And you have a very unique way of interacting with the game. And I think people find it hilarious. And I think that's why people want to see you do more of it. So you got to just take it the way it is, bro. You might be at heart.
Maybe I will do more. Maybe not Bugsnax, but maybe I'll do more. Like people mentioned, Balin, whatever it's called, Wonderworld. I can't. That game looked like nothing I have ever wanted to play. But whatever.
Racer has a good point. He's like, why would you just do a 2-hour stream every month until you beat the game? A Bugsnax.
Why would I want to do that?
Listen, man, I think
why don't I just drink bleach or something? It's like why would I want to do that, Racer?
I think it will be. Listen, man.
No. Look, there was a suggestion during the stream about the poll thing. So I'll do a poll like once a month.
Just make sure Bugsnax is part of it. Can't kick that off the list.
It might
be one. It has
No,
to be
no,
one of
no.
the options.
There's no point in doing the poll then, because everyone's just going to
Yes, there
choose
is.
Buck
Any other
Snack. So
game
look,
on there that's
I'm gonna put Bloodborne on there. I'm gonna put some other games on there, like Outriders, something that I like to play.
No, you gotta have at least one game on there that's like almost like, man, this is trash.
This is what we will do. I think the next thing I do
Lawnmower
stream.
Simulator. Let's go.
Look,
Oh,
that
Aronimus, man, I think I have to let Aronimus pick the 4 games that you have to play because he has some good suggestions.
who you gonna let Erodimus pick the 4 games I'm gonna play? Like, do you hear yourself?
It's the community, man.
Who gave you that kind of power? Is what I want to know.
Shout out to Mama Sita. Shout out to the Ash and Luca with the $5 holler. Congrats on the 1K slow-mo.
Luca,
listen,
thank you.
These people out here, you give these people what they want, man. They want more of you. They want to see you struggle at that game. Just your sanity it's like your sanity is something that they want to see if you can actually do it. I think you could do it, bro.
I don't think I can do it. But like, look,
2 hours to 3.5 with an hour and a half left tomorrow, man.
Yeah, and it almost killed me. Okay, like I'm barely here. I'm hanging on barely. I need to actually.
Catherine, that's a good one too. I love that game.
Catherine.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tried that. I couldn't get into it. It wasn't for me. But I do respect how people enjoy it. I get why people enjoy it. It just wasn't my kind of
really
jam.
good gameplay. Is this your gameplay, SloMo?
Yes, this is me playing Persona 5 Strikers, which is currently my game of the year. Honestly, this game is freaking awesome.
You actually like the Dynasty Warriors type gameplay? The
gameplay is okay. Like you gotta get used to it a little bit, but once you do, it's fun. I don't even mind just running around, just fighting enemies and killing everybody. But the cool thing about Persona 5 Strikers is that if you enjoy the story of Persona 5 and how they set the story up with the your different days, although there's no school in this because they're like story like chronologically, this takes place like 6 months after the end of Persona 5. So, and not Royal, so it doesn't have that extra semester and it doesn't have that additional character, but just the regular Persona 5. So it's the crew gets back together, summer break, and then the whole bunch of other stuff happens. So it still has the days, but there's no school involved. But the dialogue, the interactions, the writing, all that stuff that you enjoyed from the first game is here in this one, and I was kind of shocked because I didn't think it would be like that, but it is. And they introduce a new character that you have in your crew, and it's fun. I enjoy it. Like I said, best game I've played so far this year. That's come out this year, and I know it's still pretty early. We just hit in April, but that's my game of the year so far.
So I'll just give you my promise right now, SloMo. Your boy Forte, he's not going to be pushing for you to do any extra tomorrow. Now, if the community pushes for you, I'm not gonna stop it. But I'm not gonna retweet stuff and say do this and do that. I'm gonna give you the off. I'm gonna give you a break tomorrow because you did sacrifice a lot today.
There was a hell of a dog whistle right there.
I know.
Just like, I'm not gonna say anything, but if the community says
the community
wink. If you can see him right now, he's winking so hard, even though there's no camera on to see it.
Deke says petition for SloMo to finish Bucks next. I'm all about that. Cat Daddy says stream Returnal if you're getting it. And he also had a really good suggestion. He said, that's a good way to play games you normally wouldn't play, but doesn't have to be a troll game. So I think it's just fun right now because Bugsnax is the ultimate troll game. I actually went back to go look because shout out to Erodimus and shout out to Replicant. I remember last year at some point, I told him, I said, anybody that wants to support SloMo in streaming Bugsnax, just super chatted to me. And once he hit monetization, I would send it over to him. So I was looking through my super chats to see who sent them. And I saw, like, all I kept seeing was people talking about Bugsnax. Like, yo, SloMo, know he want to play Bug. This is going back into, like, September of last year.
Ooh,
people were talking about this.
Okay, so Araman says, PC Building Simulator yes, it does have my name on it. That is my relax game. PC Building Simulator, I will play that game and just be kind of chilling. Because there's a little computer, like a fake computer in there where you can like play your own music and stuff. And so I'll play music and I'll just be building PCs and fixing stuff. And it's
so that means games like Lawnmower Simulator got your name on it too.
No. See,
or job simulator.
What is that?
You know what we should do? You know what we should do?
Oh,
it's called Job Simulator. No, literally, we should.
What's the point? I don't understand.
Listen.
It's a VR game.
Job.
So.
It's a VR game.
I don't have VR, so nope, can't do it.
Is Job Simulator a VR game?
Yeah.
Oh, it's VR only. So we need to find a bunch of simulator games. We should do like simulator month. So for the month of May, it should be all simulator games up there, and we should vote on what simulator game
SloMo. Have you partitioned 10% to give to Forte as your manager at this point?
Giving him anything, you need to.
No, he ain't gotta give me nothing. Listen. He ain't gotta give me nothing. This is just for the fun. This is for. Hey, what was Replicant saying? He said you got to do it for the culture. Gotta do it for the culture, man.
Your Racer, when you said stream a Trails game, you mean Trails of Cold Steel? I am playing the first one. I don't know if that game is like I don't know if that's a good one to stream or not, because
I think
those are really long, and
you know what you should
I'm enjoying it, but I kind of put it down for a little bit because like I think I'm overwhelmed with too many RPGs right now. Like even P5 Strikers is still kind of like an RPG. Even though it's got the combat's not turn-based like it was before, but I'm also playing. Hold up, I gotta check what up.
You know what he should do, guys? This is what we need to. We know he's going to play Mass Effect Trilogy when it comes out. We should get SloMo because we know he's going to go Renegade because he's an a-hole. So,
Jack, do not do that. Because I will gift Lawnmower Simulator to you. No.
Oh, you can get it to me and I'll play it. But
no, don't do that.
Oh wait. Sir Taz says Forte, stop trying to kill this man's channel.
Yeah, thank you, Taz. Appreciate that. Hey, look, let's get on with the show. We need to get on with the show. We need to get back to DPS podcast. Besides trying to slowly kill me, Forte, what have you been doing this week?
Well, a lot of stuff. Mostly just hanging out with family and stuff. Honestly, I did watch Godzilla versus King Kong, which was truly incredible, except for the parts where people are involved, as it always is with a Godzilla movie. Mm-hmm. But the parts where Godzilla and Kong were on the screen were freaking phenomenal. So yeah, I love that movie. So I checked that out, and then outside of that, playing, still playing a little bit of Destiny, but Outriders was such a breath of fresh air yesterday. Something different. I didn't put a lot of time into the demo. I only did one character, and I didn't even max that character out. I only got that character to level 4. So I went from level 4 to level 10 in like an hour and a half playing last night. And it was thoroughly enjoyable, and I liked how they changed a lot of stuff that was actually from the demo to the game. Mm-hmm. But outside of that, it was mostly just talking back and forth with you, and just listening to other people's opinion about everything that's going on in the community, and honestly working and stuff, and then dealing with my dad's affairs on the back end, because that stuff is kind of wrapping itself up. Next week will be pretty much done with that type of stuff. But no, outside of that, man, it's been cool. It's been great. I jumped on Porter Rock's channel on his live stream.
Yeah, so shout out to Porter Rock.
Yeah, shout out to Porter Rock, and Ash Luca came through, and Kid Smooth came through. We literally took over the show for like the last hour and a half. But that was a fun stream because I never been on his channel and stuff, and that was a cool something new to do. But outside of that, man, just enjoying gaming, and today was like the culmination of a lifelong dream, of seeing something. It's like watching your watching your sibling grow all the way up and just having to do the thing that you knew they would always do, which is play video games that they hated. But it was a good time though. I appreciated it. So my day has been great, SloMo.
I'm glad you had a great day, man. Kronos, man. How have you been? And we normally do what's your week been like, because we kind of we do a weekly podcast, but it's been a minute since I spoke to you. How have you been overall, and what have you been playing lately?
I've been really good. Knock on wood, PlayStation has been kind enough to keep us safe, working from home, and still paying us. So that's always a plus.
Mm,
I'll drop in occasionally into some stores if they require some help that they can't do themselves, and I have no problem doing that. Um, but otherwise, yeah, it's just been working from home. Which for a rep, having to work from home is the weirdest thing, because it's really a lot of sitting near my computer waiting for emails to come in, and and
true.
responding quickly, and that's pretty much
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
Um,
I feel that completely. I've been working from home for almost a little bit over a year now. I started last March, March of 2020. Once the pandemic stuff started to really ramp up, and I'm a network engineer, so I can really just log into a VPN and really configure routers, modify firewalls, configure switches, all that other stuff, as well as all the other network administration stuff or system administration stuff that I do. I can do all that stuff remotely, and it's been great. I've been able to, because what my work is like, there's a lot of stuff that I take care of, but once I take care of it, I don't like it. I literally have nothing to do at large portions of time, and then things get real busy very quickly. So in those portions of time when I don't have anything to do, I'm definitely I like to call my work desk, the right side is work, and then the left side is play, because that's where my PC is. That's where my dual monitors are. And so like I got my command deck all set up. So yeah, I feel you completely, man.
yeah. So aside from that, I've been trying to watch more movies and trying to play some video games. I don't do it as much as I don't do either. I have the time and I want to do it, but somehow I never get around to doing it. It's the weirdest thing.
That's hard to do,
Right.
man.
Yeah. So, I right now I'm trying, I'm happy that you like Persona 5 Strikers. I am struggling to fully enjoy it,
Oh
because I
really?
am not. Yeah, I am not. It's all because of the combat system. I'm just
Okay.
not a fan of it.
All right, is it
Now
because yeah, it is, there is
it's
an
chaotic.
adjustment. It's very chaotic. It is very fast paced, and if you're not quite like getting your head around what they want you to do at whatever particular certain time, you can get
Yeah,
like this battle that's about to be shown right now is first time I
yeah,
did it, I got completely wiped. And I was
yeah,
like, okay, let me go do some farming and come back and do this the right way.
So this is the second time through, then, right?
Oh no.
it's
This
Or
is
just the first time?
this is the second time. Yeah, this is the second time I fought
Because we're not
her.
gonna put that. We're not gonna put that first time on
Oh yeah.
camera,
Oh
right?
you you know how I
That
feel.
first time ain't going on
Oh
camera.
yeah, that first time, man. Yo. By the way, Persona and some of the way these characters look, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
They
So
take
yeah,
Moxie to a whole nother level.
right.
I had the had the weirdest. Yeah, you know what? We're gonna keep it clean. We're just gonna move on. But
Yeah.
I if it weren't for the Persona character, the Persona skin that they have on the Dynasty Warrior gameplay,
Hmm.
I would have stopped. I love and I'm playing it. And the fact that it has the original voice cast from
Mhm.
the Persona games, and it has the aesthetic of Persona and the music of Persona. If
Hmm.
it weren't for
That
that,
great
I would have
music.
stopped. Yes,
That
I
music
would have
is
stopped.
so
Thank
good.
God. I am so happy that they have a majority of those songs on Spotify, because it's
Right?
it is the best thing.
I love that
Uh,
soundtrack. The soundtrack is so
yeah.
good. You know what? Another one that actually I'm still playing Persona 4 Golden. I'm like about halfway through that one, and that soundtrack is pretty good too. Not as good as Persona 5, but it's good. It's a good soundtrack. They definitely they definitely make sure that is something that they are going to, with every Persona game, have a soundtrack that really hits with people and really fits the game and the mood, the style, and all that
Yeah.
stuff. It's pretty awesome. Now,
I was gonna say
go
with the closure of the Vita store soon, I'm tempted to pick up some of the PSP Persona games that are still on there because they're only like $20. So I'm just like, I might have to do that soon just so I can get some of those older ones. But
yet, like some of the combat in this game, it's you have to unlock like additional combos for each character, and the best way to do that is to actually use them. So I try to rotate them. Yeah,
I'm so used to, and I like Joker as a character, so I'm constantly just using him. But I know I need to. I know I need to switch out to other people because my leveling isn't as balanced as it should be. So yeah, it's. I just actually last night I just finished this battle that you're showing. I just finished that, so I need to.
How many attempts to take you to beat it?
It was 3 or 4. It was rough because I'm so used to using the right analog to dodge. When dodge is on the trigger, I just was not doing it properly.
That is you'll probably see in this battle. I struggle to keep remembering that sometimes too. It is what I really like though is that it kind of keeps to, even though it's got that Dynasty Warriors combat, it kind of keeps to the way with the turn-based RPGs where you need to, well, not need to, but in Persona 5 you did need to hit
weaknesses.
Yeah, exactly. Know the weakness of the enemy and hit them with their weakness in order to really win the battle. And you'll as you progress through the game, you'll notice that more and more you need to be making sure you're hitting their weaknesses, whether it's an element or even if it's like shooting your projectiles or a gun or something. I think with this boss it was wind and fire that she was weak against. So I made sure I had made sure I had Morgana and Anne in that fight to make sure that wasn't a problem.
My biggest problem is I always run out of stamina. I always run out of SP, and the only things that you can buy that replenish it only give you 5 SP, and I'm just like, shoot.
You have to buy a lot. Like every time you go to, like every time you're done in the jails, because they're not dungeons. They weren't dungeons. They were palaces before. Now they're jails. So every time you get done with a jail, or you're finished for the day and you want to rest your people, I always go to the vending machines, the stores, and I just rack up on everything so that I have enough of it, because I'll spam it, because they only give you like you only get like 30 HP for a particular, like from one like cup of coffee or something or whatever that you're using. And I'm like, forget that, man. That's not enough. So I can always stock up on and have a whole bunch, especially if I know I'm about to go into a boss fight fairly soon. But I mean, I don't want to spam. Oh, this beat turned into Persona 5 Strikers talk. I think we're about.
It's the gameplay on the screen, so
yeah. We're about 30 minutes in. Let's go ahead and get started with these topics. So first topic is Outriders, and Forte spoke about Outriders a little bit already. That launched officially today. I know some people were able to play it yesterday, depending on which platform you were playing it on and where you are in the world. But I played the game. I've played it in demo. I have not played the full release game yet because I haven't had the time. I would have loved to play it earlier today, but I was too busy streaming extended time on Bugsnax. So I probably will try to get into it and continue my characters on PC after the stream tonight, after the podcast tonight. My favorite class so far is Trickster. I love Trickster. Just the time bubble, the using the time sword to age everyone until they turn the dust and bones. It's pretty awesome. I got some ideas for builds already. If you are really liking Outriders, definitely look out on my channel for build videos and stuff in the future, because I definitely love theory crafting and coming up with unique and different builds that really work. And I'm definitely going to do a lot of that in this game, because this game is, if you like that kind of stuff in looter shooters, this game is got it in spades. It's so deep on that level. Like, this is the reason why I think the game may actually have some legs, because that adds replayability, that you can just have a completely unique build that suits you, and then can change and do something completely different. It's and be able to do that on the fly too. You can respec your classes whenever you want. That's something that I wish more looters were doing. But enough about my thoughts on this. Forte, let us know what you think about Outriders, man.
Well, I didn't know how much of Outriders I was actually gonna like. I mean, like the demo, I used to get into the demo scene real heavy, but over the course of time, it's like, yeah, I don't want to burn myself out on this. And I thought the game was cool at first. You know, a lot of the cutscene jittering and all of the frame rate dips and stuff kind of just turned me off of the game. But I knew it was a game that I was going to definitely play, because a lot of the people that I know that, you know, play games like this were going to be playing it too. And you know, I was like, yeah, it's something different, you know, give something else a go. I kind of like the concept of the premise of the game. And, you know, so I said, I'll just wait till the game comes out. And I jumped in, I did the install last night. The fact that I had to download it through the mobile app in order to get it to download on my Xbox was kind of crazy. Cause I was like, yeah, you couldn't even, because supposedly you were able to pre-install the game up to a week early. But I was always looking on Xbox like, where's the preload button? I can't preload this game. And the day of, shout out to somebody on Twitter, they had posted that, oh, you have to download it through the GamePass app on your phone. And that was the only way you were able to preload the game, and even download it for the first hour. Like, for the first hour, you couldn't even, like, the game it showed in the store. It even showed under recent additions to Game Pass. But every time you clicked on it, it would say see in store. And the only way you can like download it is if you bought it off the store. But then somebody was like, if you do it through the Game Pass app, sure enough, click on it. It says download to your Xbox, and you click it, and it starts downloading to my Xbox. So I was like, all right, cool. At least I can do that now. So that was kind of crazy. But once I got into the game, oh boy, it felt so good. It, like, they completely fixed all the jittering, the frame rates, the stutter, the cutscenes. Those cutscenes still suck. Those characters don't look.
Are the cutscenes still at 30 frames per second?
I think they boosted them to 60.
Good. That was annoying, especially on terrible. PC, where I'm playing it at like 120 frames per second, and it go from. You gotta understand how jarring that is to be playing something at 120 frames, and it literally goes down 90 frames in a second to 30 frames. Like, and then the frame pacing and the frame timing is all off. Well, at least in the demo, they were all off in the cut scenes. You would see characters kind of like moving at different frame rates. It was just weird. It was just really strange. I'm glad they fixed that though. But my bad.
Rodimus said it didn't show on recent editions until the morning on Game Pass. So I guess I know some people were able, because I saw a couple people saying they were able to see it in the store last night. But I guess it depended on like the area or region you was in. So a lot of people didn't get a chance to download it to this morning. But yeah, once I got into the game, oh wait a minute! Shout out to Darvanero. The savior, the homie. I'm so listen. You are officially. Do you got a Twitter account? I need to follow you.
I'm afraid of driving there. Like, he shows up. He shows to the chat like, hi guys, and I'm
Hi
like,
guys.
like
Listen,
I got afraid for a moment, like Jason just showed up or something.
listen.
Like I'm just like, oh,
Listen, I need your Twitter account if you got one, so I can follow you, so I can make sure that we touch base on all things SloMoBackSlap in the future. But no, shout out to you for the love and support on the show earlier today, definitely.
absolutely, bro.
But outside of that, man, the game feels amazing. Like I was playing with my pyromancer, the moves, the gunplay, the ability to actually turn your character didn't feel sluggish. It actually made me. I mean, I still think the story's trash. I think it's kind of throwaway, but at least I am a little bit more invested in the story due to the gameplay being more tight and more precise. So overall, I'm like, I haven't been jonesing. Like I was like, I woke up this morning, like I was thinking, I said, I got to go to work. I wanted to stream it. I mean, not stream it, but I wanted to play it. But shout out to my PlayStation rep. You know, he told me he might be at my store at 11:30. So I was like, well, that means I was like thinking, I was like, well, that means I can't play today because if I play in the morning, I'm gonna end up not getting to work till 11:45. Because you know, when you only live 5 minutes from your house, you literally only leave out 5 minutes before you have to be there. So I didn't get a chance to play this morning, but as soon as this podcast is over, SloMo, we in there.
All right, I'm down, man.
That's how excited I am to play this game, bro. We in there. But the game is good. I think it's good. And the biggest thing with this game is going to be the long tail on it. It just really comes down to, have they learned lessons that other games in this genre have, not learned? I know that they're not calling it a games as service, but overall, it's the fact that you still collect loot. There is a end game to it, even though the game does have a beginning and end. From the most part, I hear that a lot of people are like, some of the people that like grind it like crazy, that hit like the max level and stuff, and they already have a bunch of epics and
people are already at max level in one day.
Well, it's 2 days now. Yeah, but if you looked at Paul Tassie's his first impressions of the game, he said he put like 14 hours in. He said he knows people that are already at max level grinding up there. Wow. Because they just did nothing but play that game since they got access to it the day before. So there is people up there. So who knows what it's going to look like when it comes to that part. But I'm just happy that there's something else out there that actually can compete. We had Division. Division was good, but they kind of dropped the ball on the end game. Borderlands 3 was supposed to be that game. But we already know how the end game on that game ended up being. Some people like it, but a lot of people, it just doesn't live up to the formula that Borderlands was supposed to have.
Well, no, I think. Well, I would say.
Well, in people's eyes, it didn't.
I disagree. The formula that Borderlands 3 follows is the same formula that Borderlands 2 followed.
But the story is not the same.
Yeah, the story's bad, and so that's the issue. Is that like when you have content where, and Outriders is probably going to be more like this, where you're redoing missions over and over again, but it's going to be more story driven.
Yeah,
than you'll see from like a Destiny or a Division. But it's not a live service game, so you're not getting the kind of missions where it's dailies or it's designed for you to take a long time to complete it. But it does have all this additional build diversity, which is the major draw to it. I think the big issue with Borderlands 3 was, again, the villains were not only were they did not compare to an awesome villain that they had in Borderlands 2 with Handsome Jack, but the villains were bad. These were like not even just decent villains. They were just annoying and dumb, and it was terrible. And so there's that. There is the only choices they made with the characters. This just the story overall just wasn't all that good.
Yeah, that was the problem. I don't think, like I said, the gameplay itself, but the thing that made it's like that. It's just like Mass Effect. The thing that made Mass Effect 2 so much better than 1 in a lot of people's eyes is the story, and the gameplay was just that much better. And that's kind of the defining factor of most of these games. And Shout out to Fuzzy Belvedere. He even said it. He said it would be a nice alternative to Destiny and the Division when they are light on content. And I think this game can literally fall right in the middle. Even like they said, you don't feel like you have to continually be online and every day. And being a person that always feel like they got to go do this bounty, or they got to go do this strike, or they got to do this activity to make sure that they're consistently on top of their leveling. It feels it's kind of refreshing to not feel like you have to do that. Now, granted, you do want to level your character up and everything, but you don't feel like you're forced to do it to keep up with everybody else. And I think that is kind of a refreshing thing. And like even seeing people like Cat Daddy talk about how he just got 2 legendary pistols and is beastly. Hearing people talk like that about this game, and it's only been out a day. And I mean, it might only be like, what everybody's talking about right now. Everybody's opinions can change in the next 2 to 3 weeks. But right now it's just exciting because let's be for real. This is a type of game that a lot of people truly love to play. And we actually have a game that looks like it's doing things the right way. Only time will tell if it stays that way throughout the course of the whole game.
Yeah, I agree.
There is a part of me that that suffers from FOMO, and then it's just like, oh, I'm missing out. But
right.
I don't, looter shooters and games as services, those are just stuff that I just do not play.
Yeah, they're an acquired taste. I think there's a very dedicated yet small demographic in the hardcore gamer scene that enjoy those kind of games, which is the reason why that so many of them fail, because they're fighting over a small, like a small demographic that spends a lot of money. So you're fighting over something that is very financially
already niche.
But it's niche. So it's like, in order to get those guys, but also like the way it's designed, the way it's set up, is that it's designed to keep people playing your game. It's designed in a way where you're not going to be able to play much of anything else because you don't have time.
Yeah.
It's almost a second job, and it's part of the reason why some looter shooters I'm just done playing them, because I'm done missing out on all the awesome games that are out there. I just can't do it anymore. So playing games where it's literally I leave for 2-3 weeks to go play something else, come back, and I feel like I'm completely lost. I was tuned in 3 weeks ago, and now I feel like I haven't played the game at all. I need someone to Sherpa me through basic strikes and stuff, and it's just like, this isn't what I can't deal with that anymore. I'm done. So yeah.
I will say that I do tend to, follow the works of developers and so and such, and because of People Can Fly, that's the name of the company, right?
Yes.
Yes.
I loved their work on Bulletstorm. Bulletstorm. Yeah, one of my favorite games on the 360. And I actually, there's a part of me that enjoys some of that Gears Judgment. Some of it. I want to check it out just because I like their work. But it's. I guess this would be a good argument to get GamePass, I guess. But so the financial obligation isn't really there. But as it is, it's just, it'll be something that we'll see how I'll have to see how well supported the game is down the line before I even consider participating.
I agree with that.
Vaccine Gaming. Shout out to Vac in the chat. He said Outriders story was serviceable. And look, I'll take serviceable over what we normally get from looter shooters, which is just abysmal, hard to understand, hard to keep track of what's going on, or just like, did you even try? Like, so I'll take a wannabe Defiance over some of the other crap that we've been getting when it comes to the story elements of it. In the chat, you guys let us know if you're playing Outriders, which class are you using, or what is your favorite class? I think I said earlier, I think I did, that mine is Trickster, and I think my second favorite right now is Technomancer. Forte, what about you, man?
Well, the only one I played so far is Pyromancer, but I am gonna make a Trickster next, and then I'm gonna end up with all four of them at some point. I mean, that's just the completionist in you.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I'm gonna finish out Pyromancer, maybe get halfway through so I might just beat the game with Pyromancer and then go back and do it so my next playthrough could be a little bit easier and I kind of know what mistakes I made. But the thing about this game is the characters are so wildly different from each other that it really, especially if you're playing with a bunch of friends, like I might mess around and jump in with you today because you're doing what class right now?
Trickster.
Yeah, see, I might jump in with you and might want to completely start a completely new character and go through. But
you know, the cool thing is that they let you skip the prologue when you do that.
Oh, that's
45 minutes that you don't have to waste.
Listen, as long as I ain't got that expedition, I don't want to see that no more.
Fuzzy Belvedere in the chat says Pyromancer is his favorite so far. Rodimus says Technomancer. Cat Daddy Lurk says running Technomancer. A lot of Technomancers in the chat. Okay. And Pyromancers. No Trickster. I thought Trickster was the most popular one, but I guess not. Yeah, I of course, like as I do with all looter shooters, I will, like for Borderlands 3, for example, my goal, even though I haven't done it quite yet because I've been playing so many different things that I kind of slow down on my looter obsessions, is that to take all the characters, all the classes, max them all max level, and have a favorite build or build, the go-to build that I will do for each one of them. So I will be using all four of the classes in Outriders, but so far I'm just starting with Trickster first, then I'm gonna do Technomancer, then I'm gonna do Pyro. I know some people like the Devastator, and the Devastator in the demo was pretty much kind of OP, the most OP one, kind of broken with what you could do with the Devastator. Some people were being able to, they had kind of found the right mods and the right skills in a build that where they could just press one button and wipe all the entire mob that was coming at them out with one button press. I haven't seen that before, but I've seen multiple people talk about the Devastator has that kind of capability. That's it. I don't care. I don't care for it. Racist says
no.
Oh, go ahead.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Go ahead, man.
No, I was just going to ask, does anyone, even in the chat, has anyone played it on the PS5? I'm just wondering, does it support like adaptive triggers or haptics? I'm just wondering how it feels in comparison to like playing it on the Xbox in terms of controller feel and gameplay feel.
I did play it a little bit, the demo a little bit on PS5. I did notice that the DualSense controller did have a little bit more haptic feedback going on in certain situations, almost kind of like when you get to not heartbeats, but like if you're close to something that is like energy, or that you'll get like a vibration come off on your controller, little things like that, like very minor though, nothing very big. Like I do know with games like Borderlands 3 where they really put a lot of thought into the haptic feedback and the triggers when it comes to the type of guns that you're shooting. So that's the kind of stuff that I have noticed with other games, as well as like if we play Astro's Playroom, that's like the a demo for DualSense controller,
the
basically.
showpiece,
yeah. But I don't think it's nothing too serious. It's nothing like, say, for example, I'm really excited for Kingdom Bridge of Spirits. And I've seen a lot of what the devs at Ember Lab have talked about in regards to the DualSense controller and how they are using it within the game. I am still somewhat on the fence, thinking about maybe I might get it on PS5 instead of PC, even though I know it will perform better on PC, on my PC in particular, than it would on PS5. But I know I can use a DualSense on PC. If I don't have all those features, I think I might just get it on PlayStation 5. So yeah, I'm still trying to like mull that over, try to figure it out. But it's definitely something that I'm considering, and the whole DualSense controller, like these are different things that we don't normally. I think last gen that kind of stuff wasn't very important at all. There was nothing.
No, I mean,
yeah, go ahead.
You get that. It was, when it came to last generation, it was always people had preferred controllers just because of how it felt in the hand, not necessarily the features that the controller offered. So it'd be I think with this generation, it has made it's become very interesting that something as what we thought in the past was the controller, it actually does play a significant part in terms of thinking sometimes.
In the chat, let's see, Racer said, hey panel, do you guys like Outriders over Rogue Company? Well, I think I'm the only one that kind of plays Rogue Company consistently. I'm going to say right now, yes, I do like Outriders more than Rogue Company.
Oh, I definitely like Outriders more than. Yeah, I do. I can't lie.
Chrono, have you ever played Rogue Company?
No. I mean, even after you guys talked about it on BRAP, I just like I said, it's not my style of game, so I never just got around to it. So
yeah.
What do you play, Chrono? We need to know. We need to check your PSN.
JRPGs, fighting games, anything that's strongly story driven are the games that I tend to play. So
okay, I give you that.
Let's see. All right, well, I guess we can move on to play PS Plus games for April. So, man, let me go find the list. I think it came out today, right? Did it come out today or did it
came out yesterday?
Came out good. So
no,
it actually came out earlier.
No. Oh, the list came out. The list came out yesterday. Yeah, Wednesday.
Yeah, we're not a preview because you probably knew about it a month ago.
I am not. I don't have any insider information on any of that stuff. But yeah, the list came out yesterday.
Sure, tell us anything.
Give me a second, because I'm gonna pull the list up in a minute. But because I wanted to go through the games that are there, and we can kind of have a conversation about the correlation, the difference between the games that you see coming into PS Plus and the games that we see coming into Games with Gold. But we know for certain one of them is Days Gone, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Days Gone on the for the PS4 selection of games. Yeah.
For PS4. Okay. What do you get with PS5?
PS5 is Oddworld, the new Oddworld game.
Yes, that's brand new, right? It's a new game.
It is premiering on the PlayStation. At least for consoles, it is premiering on the PlayStation. So
that
I can't remember. If it's coming out on PC or not. So
is that the second game? Yeah, because Destruction All Stars was another game that launched in PS Plus as well.
Well, that was the thing when I was going to wait a little bit as we were going to talk about a comparison, but a lot of, at least for the PlayStation 5 stuff, a lot of games have premiered on the PlayStation 5 in terms of their next generation appearance and stuff like that. So Maquette made its console appearance on the PlayStation 5. Destruction All Stars. So yeah, PlayStation has positioned themselves and given developers the opportunity to showcase their new wares on the PlayStation 5 PlayStation Plus. So
yeah, give me a second. Forte, what do you think about the games coming from?
I think they're all great. I downloaded every last one of them. I never.
Well, you will.
I was one of those people like Final Fantasy 7. I never ended up buying because it was during the quarantine, and I just checked it out when I was at work, so I never got a chance to finish it. I got halfway. I'd like 90, 80, like 75% through the game. So, and then after hearing, by the time everybody started talking about it, I was like, well, I already know how this is going to end, so I really don't need to finish it. But now that they're talking about the new patch and stuff, that they're giving you the PS5 upgrade and stuff, I'm just going to go ahead and I know the PS Plus version doesn't give you the PS5 version, but I'm going to buy it and do that anyway. But for the games that they put on there, man, it's always kind of a great offering that they actually do when it comes to like PlayStation Plus. This isn't nothing new. They've been doing this for quite some time now. But I'm excited to play some of the games that they have in there, and that's even on top of the games that they actually added that they're upgrading too. You know, they Ratchet and Clank got updated. You know, Days Gone got updated. So they're doing a lot of the same things that Xbox is doing. The only difference is Xbox is a little bit more louder with the conversation, more flamboyant with the conversation, letting people know exactly what's going on. Where PlayStation just keeps doing PlayStation type things, and I think the game offerings really speak to that. I know we're gonna get into the Xbox side of it, but that's a whole nother story right there.
Yeah. So right, I'm gonna find that in a minute. So, what do you guys? Okay, so we got Zombie Army, Dead War 4. I've never played a Zombie Army game, so I don't know how good these
Cool game.
are. It's cool. It's a cool game. Cool.
It's
All
just
right.
if you ever play any of the Sniper Elite, it's based off Sniper Elite, basically.
Yeah.
Yes, it is the zombie version of Sniper Elite.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Now, Chrono, if I have a PS5, I don't have a PS4. This is for PS4. Would I still be able to get this game on PS5? Is it?
Oh yeah, Oddworld. Even if you do not have a PS5, if you log into
You can still get it. Yeah, because they have that for
log in on
VR
your
games
app.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Just throw it into your library, and when you're ready to get that PS5, it'll be waiting for you. But yeah, Zombie Army. If you get it, I started playing the Zombie Army trilogy that was given as a PS Plus game a while back. There's something so satisfying about not only shooting Nazis that are zombies, but they're Nazis anyway, so that's always fun. But the kill cam is always a fun thing as you just see the bullet rip right through. That's one of those things that I always appreciated about the Sniper Elite series. So, they shut down the world because of the evil plague, a few years back. I had a chance to play a VR version of Sniper Elite, and if you want a satisfying game, I don't know what happened to it. I'm hoping that it's still in the works, but playing that game with the aim controller is one of the most satisfying experiences in VR that I had in a long time in terms of a shooter. So something to look forward to. Hopefully it's still in the works, but yeah, it was great fun.
Now let's switch gears a moment, and so still on the same topic, but let's discuss this this games would go for April 2021. This is a bit ugly. So we got Vikings, Wolves of Midgard. First of all, I'm not disparaging the developers who made these games. I'm sure they put a lot of hard work into it. I'm sure they're very, very proud of the product that they put out. That said, this doesn't really compare to what PlayStation is putting forward within this kind of offering. We got Vikings, Wolves of Midgard. Truck Racing Championship. I have never heard of that game, but okay. Dark Void for 360 and Hard Corpse Uprising for 360. Also another game that I've never heard of. So, But
SloMo, they're worth $129.96.
Right.
with a value of 3,200 gamer score.
Really, how was that $130 of value for these games? Someone make sense to me.
Apparently Truck Racing is a $60 game, so that's where a majority is.
Wow. Truck Racing Championship.
If you get a chance, you should definitely play Hardcore. If you're a fan, if you're a fan of old school Contra style gameplay, running gun, that is definitely a fantastic game to try out. Dark Void, it wasn't loved. It wasn't the greatest game, It had an interesting concept that I think that it was during a time back in gaming where you can get away with B-level games and them still do pretty well. It was that what was it, the um oh God, what was it, Singularity, and other
That was loud.
B
Oh,
tier games.
Singularity. Oh my god. I
Those
forgot all
there's
about that game.
it was during a time where the smaller developers can come out with games and still do pretty well, I guess.
Mm.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean,
I've
okay. This is what I think is what they're really doing here. They know they have to offer you something. Okay, they know they have to give you something on a monthly basis. So they're going bottom of the barrel. Again, nothing against the developers that
Bottom
made
of the
these games,
barrel.
but bottom of the barrel because really they don't want to put nothing too enticing into games with gold because what they really want, they really want you to subscribe to Game Pass. They
True.
don't.
Yeah.
They don't really want you sticking with Xbox Live Gold. They don't care. They even change the name. It's not even called Xbox Live Gold no more. Okay,
That's
it's
that's
not. It's
right.
not. That's not even the name. Okay, stop
It's-
it. We don't want you doing this anymore. And so we want you to subscribe to Game Pass. We even raised the price to the base price annually for Game Pass. So the USC, we raised the price, gave you nothing extra, more money, and said, hey, look, you could actually get everything that's in this plus everything that's in Game Pass for no additional charge. That's how they wanted people to think about it. Of course, the entire internet was like, yo, what are you doing? That's not the move. You don't double the price of something without giving any kind of tangible value or additional value to come out of it. So, of course, they had to backtrack that. But the whole thing is very, very interesting to me because it's clear to me that's what they want to do. They want to get people off of Game Pass. I mean, off of Xbox Gold as soon as possible, and get them all into Game Pass. Because I feel like that there's a certain number of subs they want to be at before they can start to like kind of dictate to developers a little bit harder than what they're doing right now. Like it's where developers may be coming to them like, oh, you got 60 subs in Game Pass. Oh, what do we need to do to get our game on your service? That's what they want, because then they're in a different situation. Because as of right now, they're fronting a lot of money up front in order to get Game Pass attractive for more people to subscribe. They're spending a lot of money up front, giving developers what they think they probably would have got within that time period if it wasn't on Game Pass, in order to compensate them correctly, or at least in their eyes correctly, in order to get have the game out there. And the devs are getting their money up front, and they're still being able to have their game sold on discount through Game Pass. So they're still being able to be bought, before the game comes out of the service. It's really skewed towards the developer side. Now, all that said, I don't think those kind of contracts, and based off of some of the comments I've heard them say in interviews about Game Pass, I don't think that is going to remain consistent later on in the as Game Pass continues to grow. The leverage is going to change. Who's like, who needs who now? I think you're going to have some developers, some smaller developers, or maybe some smaller games, but it's games that people want, actually wanting to be day and date. You're going to have some bigger games that may consider being on the service a lot sooner than what we're seeing. But it all comes to them being able to get that magic number up there. And if they can't get that magic number, then they can't have that leverage to try that. And so far, they're not there yet, but doing what they did to try to get people off of games with gold, doing what they're doing now, which is just giving you shovelware, is basically the same thing. They're still. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm saying I'm not. If that is their tactic, it worked. I have not renewed my gold, in over 6 months, just because I don't play much multiplayer as it is, but I was getting those free games, and those free games aren't doing it for me. So I'm just like, I'm not. I haven't renewed my gold. And granted, I don't have an Xbox One or a Series X yet, but
Mm-hmm.
until that point, until I get to that point, there's no reason for me to drop that kind of money on it. So if that's their goal, good job on the Microsoft.
I don't know,
So-
man. Is there a stipulation on you because you're a PlayStation rep and you can't have an Xbox in your house? You can tell us the truth.
Yeah, they have my place bugged, so it's just like, yeah, they know when there's another system in the
I'm
house.
just saying,
so.
we always hear Xbox executives talking about how they, have PlayStations in their house, but I don't never really hear about PlayStation people having Xboxes. What's going on? Anything you want to tell us? Is there any? I mean, never mind. I don't want you to tell me because I want to keep you around.
Well, thank you. Yeah. I can't make it too vocal that I'm actually a secret Xbox fan. So
Yeah, you can definitely just send me the link to the websites so I can get one of those jackets and we good.
Oh, all right. Oh man, he's trying to take my clothing, man. What is that? I mean, Xbox is. I mean, even within the last 4 months, their offerings on there have been very, very. And some of it is, you look at, especially last generation, they just didn't really have much to offer, at least in terms of exclusives or big games. So, what would they necessarily offer to them? And I think you're completely right. I think that developers and publishers, they see the money is in Game Pass. So why would they offer, these games on gold where they could probably succeed and be better on Game Pass? So I completely agree there. Sorry, I was just looking at the comments. Blink twice if he has a Series S. No, I'll blink.
I got one in my store. Someone traded one in. It comes off trade hold tomorrow.
I'll blink 3 times. It's the Series X. It's not just.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Ben.
No, I was going to say in comparison, when you look at what PlayStation has done, I know a lot of people aren't necessarily fans of the way Jim Ryan has run the company, but personally, he's the boss man, and I appreciate the things that he's doing, especially in terms of his perspective.
I got an interesting question for you.
Okay.
Here we go. I'm waiting to hear this.
Since you brought up Jim Ryan, or
no, you got to say what's his real name? What Luca call him?
Jim Judas Ryan.
Judas Ryan. The second. Jim Judas Ryan the second.
If I like to call him Jim. If I'm lying, I'm dying, Ryan. I love that name for him. Excuse me. My question is, have you noticed a difference in how PlayStation has been run to you since, of course, Sony PlayStation employee? Have you noticed the difference in how things have been running since Jim Ryan has taken over? And I mean, I'm not going to ask you, do you like the guy? Do you think this is if he's doing a crap job or anything? I don't want you to get in trouble, but just like, what's the differences between now and since before he became the CEO of PlayStation?
It's funny. Like, even though I have yet to actually meet him, like I've had the chance to actually meet like Sean Layton and and some of the other execs. I even had a chance to like have at least have a beer in the vicinity of Kaz Hirai, and so even though I've had the chance to actually talk with them, with some of these guys, Jim Ryan is actually probably the most transparent in terms of he's constantly having town hall meetings with all the PlayStation employees.
He's transparent with you guys. but he likes the play games and do magic tricks for the consumer. Because I mean, like we believe in generations. Whoopsie! All these stuff is going to PlayStation 4. It's just like, wait, what? Wait, what? You know, like, it's interesting. It's very interesting.
It is interesting, but at the same time, you know, I mean, it is a business, and yeah, and it is where they're making changes to as where the money to wherever the money's going. So um, you know, and yeah, I mean, believe me, as a gamer, I wish that he stuck with his guns about that. But at the same time, from a business perspective, you know, when the PlayStation 4 is still selling
Oh
in the
yeah,
millions,
yeah. That
you
makes
know,
total sense. You know, from a business perspective, you're gonna make more money this way because there's 100 plus million people with a PlayStation 4, and this is the very beginning of the PlayStation 5, the new generation with the PlayStation 5. You put your game only on PlayStation 5, it's not going to sell as much, which is like it made sense that Demon Souls was just PlayStation 5. That's not a game. That's a game that is popular, but it's niche. You know, you're not going to get the casual gamer playing that kind of game. So,
but a Ratchet and Clank, on the other hand, that's a franchise with legs that can do really well on its own on
Horizon
PS5.
Forbidden West, Alloy is popular. So, yeah, you're gonna want to make sure that is everywhere. Spider-Man Miles Morales. Miles Morales is an extremely popular Marvel character.
Yeah,
I get you want to also make sure that's playable. Even though here's the real strange thing, I keep seeing reports talking about how as the PlayStation 5s become more accessible and more people are buying them, the sales of Miles Morales continues to grow. So people are actually waiting to get the PlayStation 5 to play that game, which I was one of them. And when I couldn't, it took me about three weeks after launch to get a PlayStation 5. I refused to play that game on PlayStation 4 because I'm like, the way that game looks, I want it to play it at its absolute best. I do not want to play that game on the PlayStation 4, struggling at 30 frames per second and not getting any of the graphical bells and whistles that are coming with the better version.
And on a side note about that, you know, the new update or the plans that they have, like real time muscle deformation. You know, I'm just like, what?
Yeah.
The PlayStation. Wait, what? It's if the fact that people waited, I know there was a lot of news reports basically saying that, oh, you know, proof that Spider-Man just doesn't sell as well if they only kept it because it was only on one platform, i.e. the PlayStation platform. You know, look at how bad its sales are. And it's just like, yeah, no, it's every time that there's another drop of PlayStation 5s, Miles Morales is right there with it. You know?
Right.
And it's
bundled in with a lot of games too. The bundle I got, shout out to Kohl's for coming in the clutch. Kohl's had a bundle.
You got it from Kohl's.
I still can't believe I got it from Kohl's.
That man walked into the silverware section, and there goes a PlayStation 5.
Right, man. I got myself a nice dinette set as well, and some steak knives with my PlayStation 5. It was in the bundle. But no,
Get some Kohl's cash with that too.
Oh, of course, yeah. I use that. Man. That Kohl's cash came in real good handy.
Did they actually give you Kohl's cash for real?
Yeah.
How much did you get?
Like almost $200 worth of Kohl's cash.
Really? So you basically only paid $200 less for your PlayStation.
Well, I mean, it's Kohl's cash.
I
can't use it anywhere else. That doesn't like I shop at Kohl's like that.
Yeah, but it's still $200 off if you spend it in Kohl's.
Kohl's is my favorite store. I love the Kohl's.
Hey, man, they got really good thermals there for your drinks.
No, I mean, but look, it was around Christmas time. I got the Kohl's cash. They actually gave that to me before I got the console. And my wife used that money to buy the kids stuff for. Actually, I think it was more than that. It may have been more than 180. It may have been like two. I have to go double check my email. But the wife used that to like buy stuff, kids stuff for Christmas from Kohl's. It came in handy. I don't think Kohl's will ever do that again. Amount of people that got, because let's say if you got your order in because they messed up and they allowed too many people to order. I don't know if you remember that or not, but they allowed too many people to order, and when that came through, the people who did have Kohl's, the people who did order, they got Kohl's Cash. You got an email with the code for the Kohl's Cash before you got the official confirmation that you had a console, and none of us who did the order knew it was that we really had one until you see the email saying your order has shipped. That's when you knew you really had one. So I was for 2 or 3 days.
Oh man, he was nervous.
I was on pins and needles. Like I was like, "Come on, Kohl's."
He said, "Man, it's still pending."
Yeah,
they ain't took my money yet.
I was like probably one of the last people that actually was able to get one. Like, because everyone because the people were like, "I got my order in at 12:07." And they canceled my order. I'm looking at mine. I said 12:06. I was like, come on. So yeah, I probably was one of the last people that actually was able to get one before it sold out. But like everyone, and I talk about like from all the way to like 1 and 2 in the morning, people were still being able to get an order in with Kohl's. And they still honored the Kohl's Cash for all the people who didn't get a PlayStation.
Yeah, that probably cost them a pretty penny. So.
Yes, somebody was looking for a new job in January. Let me just say that somebody was not happy with that at all. That it was crazy. It was crazy. Yeah. So PlayStation Plus games for April, looking good. I'm enjoying it. I know some people are thinking that games like Kingdom Bridge of Spirits might end up being a PS Plus game. Chronos, if you have heard this, please don't. You don't have to tell us, but if you want to,
you could just just DM us. We know we're in the need of PlayStation insiders inside this community because we don't have any, and we would love. And DPS podcast would love to be that, that bridge between the community and PlayStation themselves. So let us know what we got to do to make it happen, sir.
If you hear 2 taps, that means yes. No, I'm just kidding. But
hey, PlayStation.
I will say if there's anything to be said about the Xbox side of things, is that because the way their infrastructure is set up, their backwards compatibility with all of the games does make life a lot easier, and makes it the access to these older games definitely a plus for them.
True, not even older games, newer games. What's up with that upgrade and moving your save over on Marvel Avengers that you had to like write a thesis on to figure out?
Oh man.
Hey, it's one of those. It's one of those things. Like Microsoft, they were forward thinking when it came to the online stuff. You got to remember when it came to online didn't come to the PlayStation 3 necessarily right off, at least of well thought out online until like a year or so into its life cycle. So, we were playing catch up with online. And one of the biggest problems that we've had is that so much of our online infrastructure is tied to legacy. We're trying to upgrade, but we still have servers and infrastructure for these online setups, from 2 generations ago. So, and that's one of the biggest problems that we have.
And that's a good segue, because I know we're still talking about this subject, but legacy consoles and legacy platforms, and PlayStation 3 doing away with the Vita library and the PS3 library when it comes to you buying the games. Now, if you already own them, you can still go in there and re-download them to your system and stuff. But how does that make you feel? Being a person that's mostly in that PlayStation ecosystem. How does that make you feel overall, knowing that a part of a lot of people's, not childhood, but a lot of their upbringing when it comes to that generation, how does that make you feel to know that might be that's going away actually?
It scares me because and it's also shines a light on the very reason why I continue to buy physical. I know a lot, and particularly in this generation, a lot of people have shifted their purchasing into digital. And hell, Game Pass is a completely digital thing. But if it's tied to digital, I just want to be able to own my stuff and be able to play that stuff whenever I want, and it shows the inherent weakness of being a completely online future, without taking in consideration its legacy, and that scares me and worries me. I understand the reality of it all. I mean, especially if this is bandwidth and network space that could be used and focused on the PS4 and the PS5. I get that, but at the same time, not being able to buy a PS3 game, especially since you can't find PS3 games in stores anymore, it's frustrating and it's scary. So
yeah, I never thought we would get to the point. Now, you worked at GameStop when this happened. Remember when we had PS2 and we were like, I just can't wait for this to not be a thing anymore. I'm tired of doing TOHs on it.
Oh, well.
I'm tired
of price. Thing.
I'm tired of price, doing all the price changes. These games are like $4 each. If we do get one of those high-end games, they're usually gone in the same day. So all we're looking at is a bunch of sports games on the wall. We just want these games to be gone. And now it's like you have a different appreciation for those older games. I never thought we would see a day where PS3 and even Xbox 360 to an extent are just disappearing. Like, it was like the last console generation where the games for the most part was like 70 to 80% physical, where this generation that we just came out of was more of a split. And now we're going into a generation where it's a good chance that digital is going to be by far the market leader when it comes to that.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a pastime that's literally dwindling away in front of us. Game Pass is a catalyst to that. More people jumping into the PC platform, where PC has for like the longest has only been a code in a box, and if you were lucky, they gave you a disc to download it that you never used because the drivers on that disc were so completely out of date. So a lot of this stuff, just people are used to just kind of being lazy, and I get that, but for the most part, it's like, I think PlayStation is not. I'm not gonna say they're wrong because they're not. They're trying to do something. Like you said, their infrastructure has kind of been tied to legacy for so long. That's why it took them so long to give us name changes on PS4, because issues they had on PS3, and the party systems and all that other stuff. That stuff was all a remnant of something that Sony kind of rushed into, because Xbox was really thinking very forward when it came to that, even during the original Xbox days, and 360 kind of hit like a banner generation for them. PlayStation finally caught up in the PlayStation 4 ecosystem, but not without a casualty when it came to like the legacy stuff that PS3 brought with it. I just think a lot of people, when PlayStation came on and said that we want to value your legacy, we want to value your platform when it comes to where you came from with PS3. They always talked about PS3, PS1, PS2. That was always the promise of these games going with you. But it always just seemed like it was kind of a hollow promise. And I think the more time that goes by, and I think this is probably the worst time for it to happen, because we're in the middle of a pandemic. People aren't able to find these systems easily. And it just seems like the more and more that this information comes out about, deleting PS3, deleting Vita, even though, and I think PS4 is going to be something that it may not happen to, because I think this might be the start of that legacy for PlayStation. For people that are jumping into the ecosystem, they may actually think about that. Like, yo, who says that these games in 5 or 6 years are going to be available for me to play? Who says Infamous Second Son is a game that's going to be available 5 or 6 years from now to download? We already know what Xbox's their direction is. Their direction is to make sure that your games are always going with you. They're basically taking a PC approach. They're going to make it so no matter where you are, no matter what platform you're on, whatever ecosystem you're on, those games are going to go with you. Whereas I think PlayStation's trying to make a huge pivot, and they kind of need to do that. But it may not go over, as well now as it might later on. I think the plan is sound, but I just think right now it's just kind of biting them in the butt because of all the decisions they made throughout the 7th gen, and kind of just riding the wave of hit after hit after hit, and not really addressing the elephant in the room when it comes to their not their ecosystem, but their infrastructure, when it comes to the way that these games are going to be preserved on your platform. But only time's going to tell when it comes to that.
Great.
It will. It'll be very interesting I'm sorry. It'll be very interesting to see, like, exactly. It'd be interesting to see what the actual numbers are, though. How many. I would love to see Microsoft's numbers and see how many of these legacy titles, 360 and even OG Xbox, how many of these games are people actually playing?
It's closer. Probably, I put it this way, and no one knows that unless they tell us.
Yeah, and Microsoft won't.
10%. It might only be 5%. But the difference is, if you put out a release saying that these games, no matter what, are going with you, like, think about your Steam library. Let's not even talk about how many games you buy on a Steam sale that you never load up on your system and buy and play, because there's 75% of my Steam library is that. But the fact that a lot of these games are consistently being updated to work on new hardware, people go out of their way to actually do stuff like that. That is something that, especially if you're a PC gamer, you appreciate, because you know that library always goes with you. Have you ever seen matter of fact, Bulletstorm? We talked about Bullet because we talked about People Who Can Fly. Yeah. Bulletstorm was a game that did not work on PC for like a good 6 months. And I remember when that the update came out. That's when because PC always gets those updates for free. When they came out with the patch that gave you the Ultimate Edition of Bulletstorm, that gave you all the DLC stuff, the PC platform got it, but they also got all the updates and stuff too. And it broke the PC version, and people were mad about it. I'm like, dog, this game is literally like 10 years old at this point. Who cares about Bulletstorm? But guess what? People did care about it. And I think that's the thing, even though a lot of people won't, like 90% of the community won't play it, it's that 10% that actually is going to be vocal enough to go online and say, this is a game that I actually was looking forward to playing, and it's not playable. And I think not even having it available in your ecosystem is something that Sony is going to have to basically, they're not doing anything. Like I said, they're not doing anything wrong. It just really just comes back to the two different philosophies that the companies are taking. One is trying to preserve the past. One is trying to look forward to the future like they always do. And I just think gamers at a certain point have to decide, like, what's more important to you, the newer games? Because we hear that a lot. Newer games is what they want to play. That's what they want. But at a certain point, if you're going to live in a digital ecosystem, do you want those newer games that you buy to become casualties of war for the fact that you got newer games coming out when you could technically have both? And that's what one other company's trying to do. I'm on fire today, man. This is what I'm talking. I'm on fire today.
Wow, I mean, don't pat yourself in the back too hard there.
No, SloMo, the fact that you didn't say anything, your emotions are everything I needed to know.
Really,
I love you, SloMo.
Yeah,
Shout out to that amazing stream you had earlier today.
Oh, well, thank you. I think we're getting close to 11 o'clock. I know we started late, and so we're going to go a little bit later
You
than we normally
sleepy?
do.
Oh, I'm about to say you better not be sleepy.
No, I'm not sleeping. But I wanted to get to our last topic real quick before we get out. And this one is it's an interesting topic. It's a
This
pretty
is a
interesting
funny
one.
topic.
So if you're not aware, this week has been interesting about some journalists and other gamers have been talking about leaving PlayStation and because of the benefits they're getting with Game Pass. And this kind of sparked off with Paul Tassi, journalist for Kotaku?
Forbes.
Oh, my bad, Forbes.
Ooh, Kotaku, man. Ooh.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, Forbes. Okay, so Forbes. So he came out publicly and he knew what he was doing. And he knew this was going to spark a nice little debate going. He knew what he was doing with this, but he said that he's kind of leaving the PlayStation behind for the Xbox, and he mentioned all the little things it seems that he seems to be upset with in regards to PlayStation, the UI, still got copying your games after downloading, still got the issues where there's quick resume with Xbox, but he doesn't have something similar on PlayStation. And then there was Outriders. So Outriders is on day and date launch on Game Pass, and he said, well, even though I put 30 plus hours or 31 hours to be exact in Outrider demo, which he really did not need to do, but he did it. On PlayStation 5, he was going to forego all those hours and then just get it on Game Pass and start over, which got a lot of people upset. So let's get this started. So let's start off with you, Chrono. What do you think about this, about gamers? I pose this as a question. I put it as gamers because me personally, I don't really feel like this is that big a deal. This is some people who are choosing a preferred platform of this generation, and maybe he's going to do that. Xbox Series X is going to be his preferred platform to play games, but he's still going to have his PlayStation 4 exclusive and whatnot. Of course, that's what everyone seems to do. But I don't think this is like a mass exodus of people doing it. I think this is more of it's just a few people here and there are preferring what Xbox has to offer in terms of the ecosystem, in terms of the games they're getting at Game Pass, and them not having to spend money on games, and they're choosing to game there. What do you think about this?
Being that I work for PlayStation, that the him saying that he wants to leave the PlayStation as his main gaming system hurts me. It hurts me on a personal level. But at the same time, I've always been of the belief that you play where your friends are, or you play where it gives you a reason to play. And like the reasons that he cited seem very minor to me. I have to deal with the exact same things that he does, but they're not enough for me to throw up my hands and say I'm buying an Xbox. They aren't. But I get it. I completely understand it. I think that I think it was a non-issue, but that has somehow blown out of proportion. But at the same time, yeah, I mean, it does hurt me.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Let me ask you, let me ask you a quick, because of all the people here, SloMo's predominantly on PC right now, even though he does have a PlayStation. Your PlayStation, you play a lot of it. Let me ask you this. Knowing of the person we're talking about, Paul Tassi, what's the genre we were talking about earlier, which was Outriders? That game is in the type of genre where there were consistent updates, like more updates than any other game you'll play is in that genre. Being able to have a cohesive way of playing with your friends is probably more apparent playing those type of games to any other game. And I think as much as I hear people, because I hear people say that his thoughts and things he was saying was, kind of out of step and they don't kind of understand it. But I look at it as more of, if you're a person that plays on that platform and you're trying to, you're always getting updates, and those updates are taking twice as long as they would normally take, like on PC, and they would take on Xbox because of features that, PlayStation has implemented that make those load times longer. I think that's a legitimate, gripe, honestly, especially if no other platform does that. It may be a small one, but it's still a legitimate gripe for on a game platform that you see more than you usually see. Because if he was playing something like God of War or something like Horizon Zero Dawn and just the first party PlayStation's exclusives, I would be with you. Because I would say, yeah, that's kind of minor because you're really not seeing those type of updates like that. But when you're playing a game like Division or a game like Destiny, where they're like weekly updates and you're always getting hammered with those things, that kind of would drive me nuts too. And then the party system, I think is probably the biggest offender because, if you're a person that plays a lot of these games solo, I do it on Xbox a lot when Taz or Luca's not playing. I'll jump into LFGs on Xbox and instantly I'm in the game with somebody. Don't have to go through any loopholes or anything to like add them to my friends list, and then I could jump in a party with you, or you have just the fact that you got to be on my friends list to be in a party with me. I think that's kind of a thing that on PlayStation 4 wasn't a thing. You could just use the tools that the game gave you, and if you wanted to play with other people, you just play with other people. So that was another gripe that I actually thought was kind of understandable, but you would only feel that way if you were playing the type of games that he was playing. If it wasn't due to the games he was playing, I would be 100% with everybody on their thought process. Like, this is minor. Like Lucas said, this is petty. I think these are all petty. And guess what? On the surface, they're very, very petty. They're very, very petty things to be mad about. But when you're thinking about the types of games he plays and the way that those games operate, it's SloMo, you'll be the first one to say, when you were trying to get into a party with Luke and on PlayStation, it was like literally reading a manual to a sports car. Like, how do I do this? And I think that is kind of like the thing that kind of bugged them the most. And I think overall, he just looks at the situation like, I'm not dropping my PlayStation. My PlayStation is still going to be that game system that I play all my exclusives on. But when it comes to like third party and stuff like that, I think that was probably more of the move over. And I wouldn't be surprised if he does move on Destiny once that crossplay. And I think crossplay is a big thing. I think if crossplay wasn't a thing, that wouldn't even be a question. He would have never left his PlayStation because, like you said, friends are the main reason we play these games. We play these games with our friends to be entertained. I bought an Xbox Series X to play with my friends. I didn't have to buy one. I bought it because I wanted to play with my friends. But once you get the ability, and SloMo even said, as me and SloMo was going back and forth, he said, well, why would you buy an Xbox and Destiny has, they got crossplay coming, but who knows when that's coming? And I don't want to not with my friends, so that's why I did it. Now that we know that these are all things that are available, especially in Outriders, is their day one. Friends don't really mean as much because you can still play with them on any platform. With SloMo's done with this stream, he's going to boot up Outriders on PC. I'm going to boot it up on Xbox. He's going to give me a friend code and I'm going to join him. And I think that's the difference that people kind of miss out on when he really talked about that in the conversation. I could be wrong, but everybody has a different opinion.
Well, let me say something real quick. I kind of see both of your sides on it. I do also believe that what he said was, this is really minor stuff. Like I've had some of those criticisms as well. Not enough for me to, if PlayStation was my primary platform, for me to move on from it. Probably because like I game on PC where I'm always having to fine tune something, always having to potentially download a mod and install a mod to kind of fix an issue. For near Automata, for example, you know that game.
Yeah, that broken piece of mess.
Yeah, that game is broken on PC. Even though the GamePass version, matter of fact, I got
the GamePass version is the best version of the game.
Yeah, I got some gameplay of that. Let me scroll up here.
We're B2, baby. Let's go. Now, what were you? While he's doing that, where were you about to say? Because you were about to say something, Chrono.
No, I again, I agree and I get it. Like, there are times where I feel like I'm really bad at my job of being a PlayStation rep. Like during the holidays when I'm in stores talking to customers, and I tell them the truth. I flat out just like, look, these are the reasons why you would go with one versus the other. And it's just like, look, if you're going to be playing those multiplayer games and your friends are on that system, it makes sense. If you don't want to buy the games individually and you want to just get it, and I tell customers these things. But then I say, of course we want you to buy PlayStation. So that's, and then they usually do. So
well, you know what? And I don't think I've ever told you this, and that's why I respect you as much as I do. When you were doing VR demos in my store, you could have easily told people, oh, yeah, this is the greatest thing ever. But you told people, like, even when you were in my store and you didn't have the demo, which you would say, yo, it's really good, but you definitely want to try it. Because there was people that literally would have bought the VR right there in the store. But you was like, you definitely want to try it out before you buy it because some people react differently to it. And that honesty is literally the reason why I think you're one of the best reps that, I've ever had when it comes to PlayStation, because I think you don't really look at it as a PlayStation versus any other system thing. You kind of look at it just like you looked at it when you were an employee at GameStop. Like, what's the best thing for you? My job is to sell you a PlayStation, but I'm going to give you all the options on why you should get a PlayStation. But if you actually want something different, that's understandable too. And you don't force people. And that's why I like you the most.
I appreciate that, Forte. You're still not getting a jacket from me, man.
Oh, no. You're going to give it to Eric before you give it to me. Eric's been hounding you ever since you was in his district 20 years ago.
Oh, man. Yeah. All right. Sorry. Go ahead, SloMo.
Oh, no. I just want to say that I think that primarily the games are what's always going to be what's most important. So,
yeah.
I know, like Paul Tassi said that when it comes to Destiny, he'll revisit whether he's going to transition to playing the game more on Xbox once crossplay comes out. But again, that kind of goes into what Forte's point was, is that he's waiting until crossplay is available in order to, make that choice and that decision. That kind of goes into the point that Sony was making in regards to not really trying to do crossplay back a year and a half or 2 years ago, when that was the big deal, when people were upset that that they were blocking crossplay. And
right.
Although there are ways to make sure that you still make money regardless of that, but if you see that if someone like Paul Tassi is seeing that he feels it's better to play the majority of his multiplats on your competitor's platform, then that's Destiny. That's a game that has a battle pass. It's a game that has microtransactions through dust, gold dust, whatever the heck it's called, silver dust. People are spending money on it, even though you do get some stuff built into Game Pass with Destiny. There are other things that people want in the game. We talk about, like, the way you look and
Yep.
certain skins on your weapons and stuff like that. There are things that people are going to want, and they're going to spend money on it, and that money is not being spent in Sony's ecosystem if people have chosen to go to their competitor, because they can still play with their PlayStation friends through crossplay. Now, something that, like, now that the the top on that bottle has been popped and the genie's out. You can't go back at this point. But I think it's a little interesting that we're starting to see more and more of this recently, but it doesn't go above interesting. It's cool, fine, like some people are doing that. I think primarily when you are comfortable in an ecosystem, and I feel like some of the discomfort that I have with some of the things that like I think probably the biggest thing I can't stand is how they changed the home button on PS5 versus PS4. That really, because I'm always holding the PlayStation button in on my controller to pull up the menu, and it's not.
I still do that.
And but that takes some time to get used to. Like give it 6 months and it'll be seamless. Anytime I've seen people who come from primarily PlayStation and pick up an Xbox, I've seen them hate the UI and like what I mean, where is this? Where is that? It's being unfamiliar with what's going on. And I think something that may have worked to the betterment of Xbox, even though some people criticized them for it, was how they just pretty much kept the same UI for the most part that was on the Xbox One consoles. It was already they finally got it to a point where it wasn't as sluggish and slow, and it was designed pretty well. And they said, well, why change what doesn't need to be fixed? Kept with it.
Technically did change it, man. That UI. How many times did that UI change over the course of this generation?
Well, I'm talking about going from with the new console coming in.
No, that's what I'm saying. But the difference is PlayStation they never changed their UI when it came to the PS4, where Xbox's UI probably changed 6 or 7 times. They were changing it every year. It did need it. But I think that was the difference. Like Xbox considered their UI change something that they gradually did throughout the generation to make it better. And once they got to that point where it's like, yo, this is perfect for us, and they just kept that. I never thought I would. That's the one thing I say. I think when Paul actually said that, I think that was the one thing I kind of rolled my eyes at, because I just remember so many people saying, "Oh, the UI is so refreshing on the PlayStation, and Xbox is so bland because they kept it the same." And now just hearing even him say that, it was like, okay, now you're nitpicking just to nitpick, because I remember these conversations with people just saying like, that was a negative for Xbox because they didn't change the UI. They didn't have a 4K UI where PlayStation had a 4K one and Xbox's was only at 1080p. So so it's just funny hearing that
like
part
the
of
resolution of a UI really matters.
Yeah, that really matters.
It
but
doesn't matter at all.
But people made a big deal of that. So when I hear people complain about that part, I'm like, okay, now you're capping just to cap, trying to make a point. But when it comes to everything else, I do think he has solid points. So, but that part was like, okay, you could kind of miss me with that one.
Well, there's two things. First off, what game are you showing right now?
This
Nier Automata.
It's Nier Automata.
Is it?
Yeah.
I own the game. I own the game. I really should probably play it.
You own this game and you haven't played it?
This game is a it's a good game. It's a very good game.
Okay.
And on PS5 it's probably the I don't know about the Xbox Series X version of it. The PS5 version I think probably might be the best running version as far as it being stable. The PC version, you got to get like mods. There's some off of, I think Nexus Mods has a mod that fixes a lot of the issues with PC. But even the GamePass version, which is better than the Steam version with no mods, still has issues. If you see an encounter in the top left corner, it cannot do 60 frames per second. It stays at 59, which is annoying. It stays and then it has like a little hitch because the frame timing's a bit off. So it's just there's so many issues there. And some of I think Digital Foundry did a video on it and said that some of the features that are listed that they added to the Become as Gods version aren't really working as intended. So yeah, there's just all kinds of problems with it. But on PlayStation, it's solid. It was the first place that It was.
What FPS counter do you use for PC?
I use MSI Afterburner.
Afterburner,
Which is
okay.
the only thing that MSI has ever been good for, if you ask me.
Right, yeah.
I think outside of that, they're absolutely awful with, and then they scalp their own products, and they generally suck, if you ask me. But MSI Afterburner is pretty great. It can MSI Afterburner you can use it to um change your fan curve for your GPU so that they get more performance, or to make it quieter, however you want. You can put a max temperature so that it not allow it to go beyond a certain temp, so to kind of protect your card from a shorter lifespan, as well as all kinds of other features, and as well as like the overlay. I like that one because it gives me a lot of information. I know it's a little difficult to see on the screen right now, but it's showing me how much actual VRAM memory my GPU is using right now, so I know how much overhead I have left, or if I want to, let's say if I wasn't running everything on max, which I am right now on the game, or if I wanted to switch to 4K, if the game actually allowed me to switch monitors, which it doesn't. That's a real annoyance I have with PC gaming, is when some games don't allow you to change monitors, or they haven't taken into account that people may have multiple monitors. But other than that, like, if you see like you only getting like 3,000 VRAM, you only using 3,000 VRAM, and you happen to have 8 like my current card has, then hey, switch it over to 4K and use more, or wherever you want. It's just it's pretty cool. I like MSI Afterburner. Otherwise, it's MSI is absolute garbage. But
seeing this gameplay I think I need to start playing this game. All right.
Yeah, very interesting.
This game's really fun,
has
man.
multiple endings. A very
You gotta beat it
engaging
3
story.
times. Is it 3 times you got to beat it to get the whole story?
I think it's 3. Like the first time you play as this character 2B, and then you play as the guy that they showed before. The second time you go through, and it's the same story mostly, but his perspective of that same story, so you get a little bit more information than you didn't get before. So it's just a good game. It came out a little while ago, but
It's a fun game.
yeah, it's got longevity. Good games, regardless of them being single player games and not having multiplayer. If it's a really good game, it's gonna have legs. People are gonna come back and play it whenever they see it on a different platform that they're currently playing on. They go, oh, I'll play through that again. So yeah.
The second thing I was going to say though is I think one of the problems is also that we are a very instant gratification world right now.
Yeah.
And like some of the issues will definitely get patched later. It's just like like a lot of people forget that features will be added later, features will be taken out. The whole thing will change, not only just the UI but also just what the system can offer. And I get it, hey, if it does, and I get it, especially if it's like, well, if it was on the PS4, why didn't they just port it over to the PS5? And it's just like, well, we're trying to do something different, and basically seeing what sticks and what doesn't. It's one of those things that I think that if enough people want a feature, if they express that as much, who knows, it'll show up on a future patch. But I think that people really just need to stop wanting, and wanting it instantly is something that I think that we as gamers really need to do for ourselves. It's just like we just need to stop wanting things right off the bat. So.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, there needs to be a level of patience, but I think there's always going to be a certain crowd that the FOMO, the first adopters, they're always going to be. It's just that you need to understand as a first adopter what's going to happen. Oh, hold up now. We got a super chat by Cat Daddy Lurk. What's up, man? $5 super chat. And he said, "Guy, get a little sleep while the little man is out for the count. Good show, fellas, and fun chat. Enjoyed the back and forth." Hey, we appreciate you, Cat Daddy. Appreciate you coming through. and you have a good night, man.
Yeah, have a good night, man. We'll see you next week.
Let's see. Oh yeah, where was I? What was I? Oh yeah. So yeah, as a first adopter, what I think people should be understanding is that when you get a new product and it's the first edition or the first line or the first update, the 1.0 version of something, it's going to have issues. Like there is always a plus and a minus, a balance to things. The positives are you get you get cutting edge technology, you get the very best in whatever market or platform or that you're enjoying. The negatives are there are going to be bugs and issues with it because it's the first time this particular thing has been brought up or created, and the bugs have to be ironed out. It needs to be streamlined. It needs to be modified. That kind of stuff is going to happen. Like there's going to be a revision of the PlayStation 5 at some point that's going to have all the power that it currently has, but it's going to cool better. It's going to have other, it's not going to have any of the some of the small design drawbacks that people have noticed for the interior. All that stuff is going to get ironed out. Like that stuff, it is what it is. It always happens. The same thing is going to happen with the Series X, the Series S. This always happens. Now, if you want to wait until all the kinks have been ironed out, all the issues have been addressed, and you have a stable experience that won't have any issues, cool. But you're going to be waiting for the games that people are playing. You're going to be waiting to get these experiences. So, like I said, it's a plus and a minus. There's always going to be a drawback to having those kind of choices. But people should understand that ahead of time so that they're not complaining about something that clearly could have been avoided. Oh, I hate the fact that I don't have all the features on the PlayStation 5 that I had on the PlayStation 4. Well, that stuff probably is going to get addressed soon. Folders,
Yeah.
they're probably going to bring folders back at some point. It is what it is.
That is definitely something that I want.
Yeah, I would love to have folders back. I had all my games in folders by genre on my PlayStation 4. I don't have that anymore. But it's not enough to make me go, I should have waited.
Right? Yeah.
Wait on my PS5. No, I'm not waiting for folders.
And
I will wait for
you're seeing that
games
argument too, though.
Like if there was no games available, then all right, I'm not getting it. But
yeah, and you're seeing that argument too. It's just like, this current generation should have been delayed. It's because everything's all half baked. I'm just like, no, it's a work in progress, no doubt, but there's no reason why they couldn't have released it, unless it was an issue with the system just going bad in general. It's definitely something that can be added later, and
right.
Yeah,
no, I completely agree with you.
Yep, I agree.
And shout out to Cobra Pilsen for the sub there. I appreciate you, bro. Thanks for subbing. I hope you enjoy the channel and the content. I did want to start the wrap up here because I know we're getting kind of late. We started late, which is just all on me. I apologize. I had some things to.
No,
it's
all on Forte. Forte did this.
It's partially Forte's fault, just to be completely honest. But Kronos, so glad to have you aboard with us for the first time on DPS podcast. It won't be the last for certain. We're gonna have you back.
Thank you, I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, no problem. Where can the fine people find you?
I am on Twitter, Chrono KRONO 0666. Love chatting with people, so if you want to hit me up there, that's where you'll find me.
Awesome. Forte. Oh, by the way, okay. I'll get to it when I do my outro. But Forte, let everyone know where they can find you and what you got planned for the next week.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, man. Great show. Great conversation. Thanks, Chrono, for coming through. Thanks for finally coming to visit your boy at the store.
Well,
It only
if you
took a
stop
whole
moving locations.
That's okay. Well, I'm at home, brother, now, so you ain't got to worry about that. But yeah, appreciate you coming through. Appreciate SloMo for all the entertainment, the godly entertainment he gave everybody today. So shout out to you. But it's Gaming Forte everywhere: YouTube, Twitter, Xbox Live. Check out DPS Podcast episode 29 next week on my channel, where we're gonna talk about whatever the heck is gonna probably happen next week, because we know Microsoft doesn't go 2 weeks in a row without something crazy happening. We might get an announcement on the studio purchase. You never know. But if we do, we'll be talking about it over there. And Outriders is going to be the game of the week, and probably has some videos on that coming up. And just depends on how the rest of the week pans out. But outside of that, great chat, great podcast in general. Appreciate you all. See y'all next week.
Cool. So this is something that I wanted to bring up. I forgot to bring up during the intro part where we talked about our week. So something that occurred with me early this week is about this thing here. This Xbox wireless headset. And I said this on Brad, okay? I have it's like karma or something. I always get it, like, if there is a chance that there is a defective model to get, I will get that defective model. It's just it's way I have, after 40 years on this planet, I have learned this is just the way it is for me, and I've accepted it. So I get the Xbox wireless headset. I'm enjoying it. I like it better than the Pulse 3D headset. The Pulse 3D headset I have on right now because my Xbox wireless headset ain't working right. And so the issues I'm having with it, let me go start from the beginning. I was really enjoying it, okay? Really enjoying it. More comfortable than the Pulse 3D. I like the Dolby Atmos. I know people complain about, oh, you gotta pay extra for a license. Already had the license, don't care. So me, it was a $100 purchase for a budget headset, and it works great. I've been using it on my PC, enjoying it. Everything was good until one day I noticed I went to my PC, turned on my headset. It was on, but it wasn't syncing to the Bluetooth on my PC. I'm like, what's that about? Turn it back off, turn it back on again. Wasn't syncing. So I said, all right, well, let me have my PC remove the pairing for the headset, repair it. I tried to repair it. It's showing up differently now. So previously, and I always thought it was weird, but it showed up as an Xbox controller. And I was just like, why? I'm like, I don't understand why it shows up as Xbox controller, but it was working perfectly. So I'm not going to complain. Stuff happens. But then when I repaired it, then it started showing up as Xbox wireless headset. And then it also started showing up as Xbox hands-free audio. And I said, why is it in two different categories? What is this about? And that's when the issue started. I'm talking about the audio cutting in and out so badly to the point where sometimes if someone is speaking and I'm using the headset, I can't hear what they're saying. Because it's literally chopping up every single word. I'm like, yo, what is going on here? So I unpair it, try to repair it again. Can't get Xbox controller to pop up. I don't know what's wrong with this thing. I don't get it. So I go online, try to see if anyone else is talking about it. Very few people are complaining about this. I can't find. I jumped up on Twitter, did a tweet. Hey, does anyone else having this issue? And some people said, yeah, they're having the same issue, but most people said no. So I'm thinking, all right, well, I got a defective unit. So what I'm going to have to do is, I got the warranty with Best Buy, even though it's still within whatever the manufacturer or whatever Best Buy's basic 30-day warranty
that Best Buy gives you.
Right, but I got the extended warranty with Best Buy. You gotta go with that. Like, that's the look. Any electronic you get from Best Buy, get the warranty.
Yeah.
Any trial you get from anybody get the warranty.
Yeah. So like I got the warranty. So regardless, I'm not like that upset over it or anything. But at the same time, I'm like kind of annoying. You know, it was working good for a good 2-3 weeks, and then bam, out of nowhere, out. So I'm like, cool. Dex says the chat says they'll fix it. I don't want them to fix it. I want a new one. That's gonna be quicker. Just give me a new one. Like, don't fix it. You can fix it and sell it refurbished to someone else. Give me a brand new headset. I bought this warranty. I don't want. Look, it's funny. We just talked about but this isn't even really new technology though. This is like this headset's got decent features, but it's like all the features that are in it are all.
They gonna send you to the they gonna send you to the Geek Squad desk. So we gotta fix it. See if we can fix it first.
Yeah, right. So yeah, but they could try that. I'm gonna be like, I got the warranty. Just give me a replacement. Although I did look on Best Buy's website today, and this headset is available anywhere. So I'm thinking
it's sold out everywhere.
So I'm thinking what I'm gonna have to do is I'm gonna have to go on Best Buy online, get with customer service, be like, hey, look, this is, explain to them what happened. They're going to tell me to send it in, and they're going to probably send me another one, because this is what happened with my AvidMedia Live Gamer 4K internal capture card, which is considered the best capture card on the market. I got one, and I got one of the cards that doesn't read the PCIe port correctly, thinks it's a X1 port instead of the X16 port I put it in, and it started crashing my PC. So oh man, yeah. So it's just like, so I had to send that back, and then they were like, we'll send you a replacement. I was like, you know what? Hold off on that. I'll just get an external capture card because I want to try out the Razer, and now I kind of wish I just would have let them give me a replacement. But either way, I'll either get that or the new Elgato that Forte has at the moment. Either way, I'm getting an internal capture card, so I won't have these kind of issues whenever I go live to stream more games that you want to see me play that I can't stand. So yeah,
your stream actually went pretty well today, outside of the echo that people were getting every once in a while.
Yeah, I did have to listen back to it while I was taking care of some things after the stream, and the echo, it wasn't horrible, but it does annoy me. These are the little things that I can't stand with some of these other smaller, lesser quality capture cards. I know if I go with the AvidMedia Live Gamer 4K or the Elgato 4K Mark II, that I'm not going to have these kind of issues. So I'm going to get one of those soon. Just
yeah, you got to spend $200+ to get great video and audio. Ain't that a shame?
Krotowski says maybe your PCIe settings in your motherboard's BIOS. Just saying, no, it's not. This is an actual issue with some of the very first AvidMedia Live Gamer 4K cards. They were I saw something online, someone else having the same issue, and it didn't matter which PC he put it in, it would have the same problem. And so AvidMedia finally took it back and gave him a different card, and the new card he got was flawless. So
flawless execution.
Yeah, it's an issue with the card and how it seats into the PCIe ports. But look, I got all of my ports on my motherboard are X16. I got a Z390E motherboard, so ROG Strix. So yeah, I don't all my ports are PCIe ports are X16. So that
headset. The headset said, feel the immersion, feel the detail, voice isolated and auto mute, adjustable mic. How is all that stuff working for? How long is that battery life working for you right now, SloMo?
What on the wireless headset?
Yeah, how's it working for you?
But it ain't working for me at all right now.
Dial-in game chat balance working for you, SloMo?
0. It's getting that. That's sitting
flexible
right
with a
here
Bluetooth
on
call-in music mic.
Yeah, I'm glad I didn't throw the box away. I still got the box. They can put it right back in the box. You take
this.
Make
me want to take this headset
you give
back.
Me
I ain't even
another
took it out
one.
The box yet. I ain't even took it out the box yet. Y'all gonna make me take it back.
Yeah, well, all right. But outside of that, I got some videos in the pipeline. I might do a live stream with Ash and Luca and all day on Plasmaphobia. since we had so much
Y'all
fun playing that
punks.
before. What?
Y'all are some punks up in there.
Excuse me?
Why'd y'all run away and let Luca die?
First off,
I watched that video. Y'all literally left.
We
Luca
did not,
and you was like, Luca dead.
what was I supposed to do at that point? I don't have any weapons,
You
man.
were supposed to go save your friend.
Ride or die, man. Ride or die.
Ride or die, man. You're supposed to go in there like, get off her. Get off her. It was funny watching that stream. I mean, watching them play that, man. All I see is slow-mo. Slow-mo goes back into the rooms like, well, we made it. Said Luca was like, y'all left me. He's like, I thought you was right behind.
I did think she was right behind me.
And then of course, Slow-mo's the last man standing at the end. Because he basically treated it like an African American thing. He was like, listen, if I see something spooky, I'm getting up out of here.
Look, and what else can I do? Okay, look, the point of the goal of the mission was to identify what kind of spirit or ghost it was in the game. That was the point. So we in there, it was but this particular ghost would not come out if there's a group. It will do some spooky stuff if it's just two people. It would definitely come after you if you're by yourself, which is the reason why Luca got because I heard this water going off in the sick, and like, if you guys really want to see this, like, it's up on my channel, the live stream. I think I put it up on Tuesday, and so I go in the bathroom. There's the sink just running, and I noticed that the breath of my character, I can start seeing my character's breath. I'm like, it's cold in the room. That spirit's in here. So Luca's all like, cool. I'm like, you know what? Let me turn this off. I turned the sink off. Everything starts flipping out. Our lights start flickering and everything. I'm like, look, we should leave. Let's go. I walk out the bathroom. I get halfway down the hallway. Something tells me, turn around. I turn around. There's no Luca. I come back. Luca is choking herself. Forte, tell me what I'm supposed to do when Luca is choking herself.
She was choking. She was like, It's slow-mo. Slow-mo's like, what am I supposed to do?
Oh, man.
Oh, it was hilarious.
So
wow.
Then I see the spirit, right? After she's dead, she crumpled up like a pretzel on the bathroom floor. What am I supposed to do at that point? I leave, okay?
He was like, all day. He's like going to, nah, they went into the room, the safe. No, they were, what was that, the bathroom? Or was that the bathroom or the bedroom that y'all were in for like 10 minutes?
The bedroom. It was the bedroom.
They was in the bedroom. Like, yo, it's something on the other side of this door.
Every time we would get near the door, the little EMP reader would go off, which means that the phantom or whatever it was on the other side. And I'm just like, come on, man. So then we get out, and all day is all like we trying to leave the door. The thing locked the front door, so we couldn't leave. So we finally get out of the room, try to get back to the front door. It's still locked. It comes for both of us, and I'm moving away from it all day, just standing there. So he got all day, and then I'm like, well, all day's dead. Let me get up out of here. And I look, no one upset. I made it. Like, but we're gonna see what happens next time. I think you do actually do 4 people co-op. So if we could get another person, then that'd be great. But yeah, we're probably gonna do that. And I got some other stuff to do when it comes to videos that I'm working on at the moment. So you'll probably see those within the next week. But again, thank you everyone for coming through. 40 people watching right now. Everyone that came in before, appreciate you guys. Everyone who did a super chat, I appreciate you as well. We're gonna get up out of here, and DPS podcast will be on Gaming Forte's channel next week, next Thursday, 9 p.m. Eastern, as always. And I hope you guys have a great night. Enjoy your games and play Buck Snacks. Don't do it.
Tomorrow.
Do what?
Watch SloMo play it tomorrow.
Well, I have no choice, but yeah. All right, we're out. Peace.
Later, guys.
All right.